What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hit that like button as you come in. And yeah, I'm still on the road, still doing a little bit of everything. Still haven't had an opportunity to rest yet. But I did want to have a see if I can get that light out. That's when I know this shit out. Yeah. What I actually want to talk about tonight is basically the Amber Guyger sentencing decision. And I also want to talk about what they consider the castle doctrine because I hadn't even heard of it until they brought it up a couple of days ago prior to the end of her trial. Because basically, the castle doctrine is you're able to defend any place where. Oh, I guess I just got notification. You're able to defend any place where you pretty much it's yours, your house, your car. And the funny thing about it is I actually recorded a video prior to um, the decision because I knew it was going to take at least 4 or 5 days. Did not think they were going to come back with a um, decision in less than 24 hours. Um, for the most part, I think they got it right because the things that was interesting. What's up, DD? The thing that was interesting to me was the fact that when I was watching it, the one thing that a lot of people told me I didn't know what the hell it was I was talking about. But even I, from the video I did originally when this first happened was I spoke about how her lies were not going to make it into the criminal case, and they did not. But I also want to talk about the fact that she was sued for wrongful death by Botham John's mother 2 days after he wasn't even in the ground yet. She had already filed a federal suit um, for wrongful death in her personal capacity. Even this trial was surprising to me because it was not done as Amber Guyger, the police officer. It was done as Amber Guyger, the citizen. And one of the things that came up was the fact that she had already lied twice or 4 times prior to getting to trial. But in trial, she actually spoke about having a key to Botham John's apartment. She spoke about how because the paramedic actually had said during his testimony that she opened the door because the door was closed and she used a key to open that door. She lied about the proximity of where she was at. Pretty much the jurors overlooked that because they convicted her anyway. Because she said that she immediately called 911, but if anybody remembers the Facebook video where the guy was actually live when she did it, immediately after shooting him, you could see her walking across the crosswalk on the phone, and that's when she was ugly. So that's when she was making the phone call 911. She had no blood on her hands, no blood on her uniform, so which meant she actually lied for the 5th time. But now, but the thing is with that, she's got 10 years. I spoke about how most police officers don't serve more than a year and a half. And right now, her max serving date is generally going to be about 3.5 years. Don't expect her to do all of it. This is one of the things where they're just they're trying to quiet the people out here because they want to show that yes, we are holding police officers accountable. But the important part is the fact that you're looking at these people and they're being held accountable, but they're being held accountable in their personal capacity, not their official capacity. And I'm actually probably tomorrow, I'm going to try to hold another live where I'm going to talk about how there were several other officers that have been convicted since 2015. Because even here in Texas, sheriff was convicted for, I think he got 20 years. I'll have all the details tomorrow. Appreciate you. Hit that like button. I'll have all the details tomorrow, but I think he got 20 years because he killed a young man that was fleeing from him. And in doing so, there was no threat, so they cannot use their firearm unless there is imminent danger. They can't use their taser unless there's someone advancing on them. You have to be in an aggressive manner. There has to be an aggressive stance. There has to be an active. Jill, ain't no rope. Wow. I'm gonna need you to calm down. but but there has to be an aggressive act that was going on prior to them doing anything. But the main thing is understanding that there are methods in which you can do that. But I'm also going to even talk about possibly tomorrow or Friday, where the officers, while you're holding them responsible or liable in their personal capacity, a lot of times we're including the state in these lawsuits, and the state portion is either getting removed or dismissed, because in order to prove the state allowed that type of action, you're going to have something that's either written inside of in the state's organic code, which is also something helpful if you're going to be out studying. Generally, they're online. Most of them are 3-4 years old. They don't do a lot of revolving, don't do a lot of changing. But it's good to kind of know what their procedures are. But generally, if it's not something that they're doing that's written in those procedures, then you're probably not going to be able to link the state to it. But one of the things I'm going to show you, because I'm gonna get permission from one of the people I'm helping, where he had an email and a police chief had condoned the actions of an officer, and the actions that were condoned violate policy. This is where we talk about holding the supervisors liable as well, because if they're condoning the wrongful actions, they too are liable for any damages that are done to you. And the important thing is understanding, don't take Officer Smith in the court. Don't fight federal issues in state court. That was actually another one I wanted to bring up. I'm not sure if I did that video or not, but if not, it's somewhere on my laptop, because I've got probably about 20 or 30 videos on there that I have not put together. I've recorded, just haven't edited them to put them up. Just like I said, the one I did about Amber Guyger, it was recorded, and then I got a verdict, and then I was like, okay, now it's stupid to even edit it to even put it up. But, I'm probably going to show you guys that one. It'll probably be slightly edited, because I think at the beginning of it, I'm talking about BS, pretty much like now. But the one thing I want to know from you guys also is if you still want me how to take it to federal court. NAPTA is not filing nothing. They hate me. Okay, the easy is, when you are doing a removal, is having the cause of action set up properly. And that's one of the things I think I need to cover. And I'll probably start covering that probably November, because like I said, I got a bunch of stuff for October. But I'll probably start covering it in November. It'll be part of the 100. I will catch up on the 100 as well, because the main point that I'm trying to do is make sure I'm giving this out and I'm giving you guys substance. Because I don't just want to put out stupid ass videos, nobody gets anything from it, and we're just out here just kind of flailing in the wind, or having to go back to something where I actually said something that had meaning behind it. But I also want to know, like I said, I want to know if you guys want to do a Sunday afternoon, every Sunday, question and answer session, where I, answer you guys questions at least for an hour every Sunday, and pick the best time. And I think we'll generally use, if we're going to do that, I'm going to generally use an East Coast time, and I guess we'll put it up and all that good stuff to make sure everybody's on board, because not all of my notifications are going out for the people that set the reminders. And even my subscribers, I know you guys constantly tell me I didn't get the notification. I appreciate you letting me know. I'm still on the road. I should be hitting LA for the YouTube campus probably in the next couple of days, because I'm moving kind of slow. But right now, Um, oh, actually, I might want to do a live tomorrow because I want to know what you guys think. Should I go ahead and do a live tomorrow about the Supreme Court decision of Harvard not being racist when they're using race for consideration? Because I'm going to put it out there, I think they got it right, because when you're dealing with these types of institutions, hey Jay, shift your camera to your right. Check, I can't see it. Okay, is that better? I think, is that, yeah, because it's another light over there, so. Is that better? Do I need to put the old cabeza? There we go. Now you can't see me, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm over here listening. But yeah, I wanna make sure everything's good with that. So, okay, yeah. So let me know about Sundays. Definitely, everybody leave a comment, even leave your snide remarks. I appreciate that. I'm also gonna try to set up a number to where I can have you guys call into the show. I've got a guy that's, because I'm moving into an office space when I get back to El Paso. And yes, Sunday. Appreciate that's 2 for Sunday. Now y'all need to come up with a time. But yeah, I'm moving into a space when I get back to El Paso. And one of the things that I want to do is make sure we have everything that's Eastern. L-E. Okay, yeah, I missed the first part of that. I'll have to go back and check them out. But I actually think the question and answer session will be pretty good for us. But yeah, I actually, as far as the Harvard decision with the Supreme Court, you guys hit that like button. Maybe I get a couple more folks to actually watch this. But I also want to know what you guys would like for me to cover, because again, I have a bunch of random ass topics, and by me trying to put together 100 videos in 100 days, it's becoming one where I'm seeing something, I feel it, I record it, and then I move on to the next. And I think I'm losing something by doing that. So if you guys can kind of slide remark, huh? Hey, please put the camera down. All right, is that a little better? I'm a little darker, but I guess that's pretty much life. But yeah, hopefully we can get everything together. I'm also moving toward setting up a I'm not even sure. It's like I'm trying to set up a basically a supreme society for the most part. Actual proper procedure to okay. Actually, yeah, I'll do that. That'll probably be a November deal, because I actually forgot about something today. I had to be reminded, and I'm gonna give this shout out to Sed Mac, because he reminded me today, when you're doing your filings for your federal lawsuits and you are the plaintiff, one of the things that I forgot, because I always tell everybody, make sure you send out a copy to everybody that you're suing via certified mail. But there's also a summons notice that goes along with that illustrates, either 20 days for a response or 45 days from the time of receipt. So you have 20 days to respond, but it also sets up your timeline for getting everything that you need to have for that. So I apologize about that. I will get deeper into that. So all the people that I was helping out that I did not get that for, I apologize. I will make sure I'll stay up a little while tonight. I'm gonna shoot your emails. Send them out. I'll send you the via email where you need to send them, how you need to send them. But anything that you're sending out to someone that's being sued, even the DA and the judge or the clerk, you want to make sure that you have either a timestamp or you have it certified. But you want to send it certified mail, because that is your evidence of receipt. Now, with a lot of this other stuff that we're doing, it's the main point of trying to make sure I keep giving you guys substance. And the Amber Guyger thing kind of was bothering me tonight. That's why I got on, because, and also I didn't upload a video today, so I apologize about that. But the hotel Wi-Fi is trash, man. I apologize. I can't, it won't let me upload it. It's took me like an hour, because most of the videos I do are at least a gig and a half, 2 gigs. And yeah, they take time on a slow Wi-Fi connection. The office that I'm moving into is not, not, hit the thumbs up, y'all. Appreciate that. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit the like button. Yes, yes. ALE. She got 10 years. She got 10 years. She's probably only going to serve half, because here in Texas, generally for good behavior, that's what it is. They're planning on filing an appeal. She lost the wrongful death suit because, again, she was not acting in her official capacity. But the longest that she will serve, so don't look for any longer, the longest she will serve will be 3.5 years. So she'll probably be out 2022 at the latest, unless, you know, the bottom completely falls out. But yeah, she did lose the federal lawsuit that was filed by both of John's mom 2 days after the incident happened. The settlement was trash, and again, that's something I'm gonna also get into. What's up, Steven? And I'm gonna get in exactly. But if you also look at it, that's something that I'm going to go over. I actually might have to find a way to do a live tomorrow, because that's actually pretty much the norm. Because I'm not sure if you guys remember the police officer in Philadelphia that killed a young man. How will the family get paid? How much was the settlement? Okay, actually, they did not announce the amount of the settlement. I appreciate that, Steven. They didn't announce the amount of the settlement, but he was, her attorney was there with Benjamin, blah, blah, blah. And he had spoke about that it was very low 6 figures, but they have not received it as of yet, because her attorney is appealing. That's a move that also I'm going to give you guys. It's called setting aside the verdict. And that's one of the things that a lot of big companies, big corporations do to kind of shield themselves from a huge payout. Because just to give you an example, there was a young lady, probably early 2000s, that was burned by McDonald's coffee. She won a settlement in court for, I think, like $28 million. She settled out of court with McDonald's because they set aside the verdict. She settled out for $380,000. Now, not a big deal. I had a similar incident. I believe it was 2001. I was going through the drive-thru on my way to go to class. I wanted to eat breakfast with my wife at that time. And the young lady in the window did not secure the top on the coffee and dropped in my lap. I actually settled out of court, and I ended up having to, because I hired an attorney, because I really didn't want to go through all this crap. But he wanted to continue fighting, and I informed him, like, dude, I'm not stupid about this. And I ended up settling for $75,000. The problem was, I think I walked away from the entire thing because I had bills piling up. I had a bunch of stuff that just need to be paid off. I think I ended up walking away with probably $23,000. Yeah, but again, technically it wasn't me. It was one of the law firms that had sued them before, and they were definitely more familiar with their tactics than I was. So, you know, I didn't mind shooting that little bit of dollars over to them so they can go ahead and do what they need to do. But yeah, I settled for 75. I walked away with probably about 22, 23. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't anything crazy, but I also knew what their tactics was. And I knew one of the tactics is setting aside the verdict. This is something that she used because again, they were awarded, I think it was, I don't think she had a whole bunch in her pension, but I think the jury award was actually more than she actually had. But again, it was still low six figures. And yes, that was for a man's life in his own apartment while he eating cereal. And the thing is, I actually meant to go into it. The police officer in Minnesota that killed a young schizophrenic woman. Well, he received 12 years. And they actually received, because I think he had been on the job like 10 years, the family of this young woman received like $400,000 in their wrongful death lawsuit. But again, it was suing him in his personal capacity. But when you're talking about the stars in 10 years, oh. But when you're suing them in their personal capacity, basically you take away their crutches, which is one, the police union, because the police union, they do a lot of things that kind of barrier, shield, stop lawsuits. When there's a slam, I actually missed that. Oh, where is that? When there's a slam dunk suit, why can't a person shop for the lowest percentage? Now, that's a great question. What we consider a slam dunk is not necessarily a slam dunk to everybody else, because you have to understand, piranha don't eat piranhas. And you're asking these people to go against the person that they look at every day. So when you're making that ask, you have to understand that they have to make a sacrifice. Is that slam dunk worth the sacrifice? Most of them, it's not. That's why you have these high dollar attorneys that say, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it, but I need this ginormous retainer. And that's actually a great point, Bay Area. The reason why I emphasize doing it yourself, it's not necessarily you'll get the justice that you're looking for, but you will get something that generally won't be there in other instances. For just to give you an example, no one wanted to represent me or my brother, because he was the asshole looking for an attorney. No one wanted to represent him during our racketeering case. And then the ones that did offer to represent him, they wanted an enormous retainer. And in that retainer, they wanted him to take a plea. Because no one wants to go to trial. Because no one wants to face them. And if they get a huge retainer, they can go ahead and say, you know what, yeah, I'll take this. I just don't want to stand across from you. So it makes it easier for them to go ahead and keep moving about their day, because they take your little $10,000, $20,000 and they just go on to the next client. When you're doing it yourself, the biggest hurdle you're going to have is gathering evidence. And that's why I preach, get the evidence first. You have to get and everybody, you have to get the evidence first. You have to understand your subpoena power. You have to understand the importance of staying on a timeline. You know what, William? I'm actually surprised you're here, brother. I appreciate you, because you actually put up a couple of comments. I ain't like them a whole bunch, but you actually support your stuff, so I appreciate you showing up tonight, man. But yeah, understanding the Freedom of Information Act, understanding there is a timeline for that. And the most important part is staying on that timeline. That's doing whatever you have to do on a strict schedule, because then you have your liabilities. They have a time for everything. And that's why I talk about procedures, because a lot of us try to jump the line on procedures, but when you're jumping and skipping procedures, there are things that you could possibly miss. Now, you may not miss it every time, but it may be a time where that procedure doesn't work because you skipped it. And this is one of the things that why I talk about it so much. And even my brother Alicia, that was the one thing he preached to me constantly. Line upon line, precept upon precept. And I think that was the most important part, because even when you're sitting across from somebody, it's important to know their tendencies. It's important to know how they respond. It's important to even know when you're asking a question, paying attention to their mannerisms. Because one of the advantages I had was the fact that the guy that we faced was John Melvin. John Melvin, Baptist preacher, family man, blah 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 blah, husband, father, blah blah blah. The thing about it was he knew statutes, codes, and ordinance forwards and backwards. You couldn't touch it. Dude was a monster with that. The problem was he did not understand the application of federal law. So whenever we would box him in, this little bastard, he was so arrogant. He expected me to do one thing and I did something else because I followed the procedures that was supposed to do, and I played the man. And if any of my card players out there, especially my spade players, you know you don't play the hand, you play the man. And that's one of the things that you do, because this itself is not just about your life. It's about your liberty. It's about your well-being. And when you're standing up, it's about understanding you're doing this to win. And that's where I'm trying to make sure everybody stays at. That's why, with the questions, because even like the procedures, that's a great one, because I think that's one we all need. Does the anti-bribery statements of foreign agent documents matter? Don't worry about it, will you? Because you always give me stuff to think about. That's basically what the comment was about, William. But the other stuff, the statement before, I'm gonna have to get back with you on that, because I want to make sure I have a full understanding of what you're asking. But as far as what I have for tonight, the Amber Guyger, yes, she got 10. The stand your ground or the castle doctrine didn't apply to her because she wasn't in her castle, even though she had a key to Botham Jean's apartment. And for the most part, it's understanding the time she will serve based upon her sentence. So, do you think they'll even straighten out the court system? To be honest, no, not at all, because it's about revenue. It stopped being about law a long time ago. Because I'm gonna give you one of the greatest shifts in our country's history. Is 1980. Y'all about to lose because my battery's dying. But in 1980, Ronald Reagan becomes president, and he implemented Reaganomics. And they talked about the war on drugs. The war on drugs was the war on poverty. It was war on the poor. It was war on those that could not afford a better education. It was the war on those that were pretty much considered weak. Yes, 1913. However, I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that too. But understanding that the whole point is it got ramped up because it started working better than they thought. Because they taught you to fear the government, not to control the government. They taught you that what they were doing was right. And the problem is they've been doing wrong so long, they think it's right. They don't train any other way. That's why they're losing so many personal liability cases, because that oath of office is part of a trust document, which is a part of the United States Constitution, which makes them servants. And I think what I put up a couple other days ago was the fact that the words amenable at all times, it surprised me because I was in Virginia and I was reading through their state constitution, and that exact verbiage is in there. And I didn't find it in Texas Constitution, but I know it's in Georgia because I've used it 1,000 times. But it also reinforces the things I say about Terryville, Ohio. They must articulate. If they don't articulate, it becomes a part of fraud. Why? Because of their oath of office. So it's understanding how to get that stuff and moving forward. And whenever you get that contract to get in the ring, go in there to win. Go in there to get the W. So, I'm going to give y'all about 2 minutes before my phone die. I appreciate everybody. The Fed is effectively at night. Yeah, it actually is. Yes, sir. Yes, Steve, that is 100% correct. And now, I'm not going to get too amenable. Oh, yes. Yeah, and I think I either said it wrong or I spelled it wrong in that video. So, so I think that was like my third or fourth video. But yeah, I think I either said it wrong or spelled it wrong. Yeah, it was something wrong in that video. A whole bunch was wrong. The camera was wrong. Pretty much like tonight. But I appreciate you guys that are donating, helping me get to where I'm able to actually sit in the hot tub. And oh, D, we only have 4 national banks now, because all of them are subsidiaries of either Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, or it's one other one. I can't remember the other one. And yes, the Federal Reserve is a private entity. Okay. I have no idea how to set up anything on Patreon other than I post videos there. But yeah, you guys are welcome to go to Patreon and pledge if you like. The videos are still going to be put up on YouTube. I'm still using the money towards building the brand, building ecosystems where, I think that's right, ecosystem. If it's not right, one of y'all put it in the comments. It is what it is. But I'm sitting up there trying to put together a system to where everything that I put up is substance. It's in one area. It's accessible by everybody. And I don't have to worry about copyrights. I don't have to worry about being pretty much trolled, because I have a lot of them. I really did not understand the level of trollism that's on YouTube. And then I don't have to worry about the police unions either. So this is one of the things that kind of helps me out. Yes, it actually is. And the thing is, it's entirely too rare, because the occurrences of what they're doing is too frequent for them not to be charged. But that also goes back to when you have 30 million motorists that are on the roads every month, 2 million citations being written, and only 200 or 300,000 people actually fighting. That's a problem, because they're going to continue business as usual until we do something different. We have to force change. We have to back the police unions into their positions to where we have to hold them accountable. But we have to be willing to go through something to make that change. And unfortunately, most of us aren't willing to go through that change for whatever reason. Either it's comfort or fear. And, it is what it is. And yes. And Terry, hit me on my email. Just by blue so far. Yeah, and I think Arizona is leading the nation still. Yeah, trollism is the only thing I can come up with. But yeah, I think Arizona is still leading them, and I hate to say it, it seems like I'm picking on them, but at the end of the day, like, damn, they make it too easy. Like, I've literally done maybe 4 videos on the police officers from Arizona, because when you blame the citizens for you shooting them, like, the whole thing is, it makes my teeth hurt, because, like, how's it my fault that you shot me? Why? Because I was breathing? Because I'm here, I'm standing in front of your bullet. That's my fault. You're right, because I was where I was supposed to be at, even though you just wildly shooting and doing some things that you ain't got no business doing or shouldn't be doing, especially when you have 6 to 7 other non-lethal weapons and you're grabbing the one lethal weapon. Yeah, that's my fault. Okay, yeah. But again, it goes back to training, because that's where we have to fight back. And what happens is when we start pushing back, they'll stand their ground. They'll stand. They'll offer a little resistance, but the one thing they don't want is the one thing I talk about, and that's clearly established. They do not want a precedent, because once one happens, it opens a floodgate, which is why whenever you're looking at these large companies and they've got these other things going on and they have multiple lawsuits, they settle out of court, because if it goes to a jury and they allow that verdict to stand, everybody after that gets paid whatever that juror or that plaintiff won. So that's also part of clearly established. They know it's wrong, so when you push back, the police unions offer you something to sit down, shut up, and not go to court. And for right now, that's all I got, and I hope you guys, I'm not sure what time I'll get on tomorrow, because like I said, I'm moving around. Exactly. Yeah, because even now, I think I did a video about the Arizona officer pulling the guy's pants down while he was handcuffed and tasing him. And the saddest part about Arizona, and because I don't give a shit if it's Mesa or Phoenix, they are horrible, absolutely horrible, because you have these guys that actually do the job, go home, kiss their wife and all that. They tolerate, they condone, they excuse the behavior of these bad officers that are going out there, which makes them bad officers. Because when you have a guy and then you keep promoting these people, because I spoke about, I think, matter of fact, the guy just said, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the only reason he is not still working for Mesa is Glendale Police Department. They are trash. The only reason he's not working for Glendale anymore is because he quit because of the wrongful death lawsuit and the other civil lawsuit for them guy that was in handcuffs that he tased after he pulled his pants down. Because they were not going to fire him. They excused that behavior. And the other three officers that was involved, nothing happened to him. So, but that's one of the things we have to do, because even like the Philadelphia officer, he got fired from one job, not because he had shot somebody. It was because he had a fit about being sued after he shot somebody and was wrong. He killed somebody. They took the rap for it, paid the money out. He got an attitude with them. 15 minutes after getting his new job in Pittsburgh, he shoots another person in the back without a gun. And they were not going to fire him. This dude's oath wasn't, the ink was still wet. It was literally, he had just signed it. Literally 15 minutes prior to doing this. And the only reason he is not working now is because the young man's mom is suing him in his personal capacity, and they're not suing the city. So keep that in mind, because there's a method for doing all that. Because even I'm gonna talk about soon some of the things to subpoena. And yes, go mamas, because yeah, they on their ass. Yeah, because that's what happened to one of the guys that I sued. But the thing is, whenever you sue them and they retire, the only thing they're doing is making it easier to find their pension and stuff, because you're suing them in their personal capacity. Because at the time that they performed these acts that violated your civil rights, they were on duty. They had an oath to you, or fiduciary duty to you. But anyway, that's all I got tonight. I hope you guys stop suing everyone. That's what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta go out there and sue everybody. But I appreciate you guys tonight. Remember, if you're donating via Apple Pay, it's the thegocp@gmail.com. That is the link for Apple Pay, but it comes through as a text message. So you have to send me your name, whatever you want me to say on the air or whatever. Night D. Venmo, I think that one is Supreme Decisions. Again, that one, I've had a couple people send that, but they've also sent with that, because it comes through as your real name. If you don't want me to say your real name, you want me to use your YouTube name, let me know that, because I'll put it on the air. Google Wallet. Google Wallet is thegocp@gmail.com. And I think everybody that sent something via Google Wallet, I've actually just said their name because their whole name pops up. So if you don't want me to say that, just let me know, because when it comes through with your whole name. And if you want me to say more than just your first name, just like, could I instant message pay? That's a great question. I'm not sure. Just let me know what kind of phone you got. Instant message, what is that, Facebook? But Facebook, yes. And it's Supreme Decisions on that too. Yeah, it's Supreme Decisions. And whenever you when you type it in on Facebook, Supreme Talk pulls up. That's me. And last but not least, and no problem, Blue Raven, last but not least, Cash App. I'm going to put the link in the description. What's up, Carlos? I'm going to put the link in the description, because if you don't have it, download my link. We both get paid. And the one thing about Cash App is connected to Lincoln Financial, so it is. I asked for both to call me. They didn't. They don't. Okay, I think I missed part of your comments. But yeah, Cash App is connected to Lincoln Financial, so it's connected to an actual bank. And it's a long-standing bank, so you guys don't have to worry about that. And you get a ton of discounts. One of my favorite places is Chipotle, and it's instant. Starbucks, I think Java Hut, Taco Bell. I don't know if any of y'all eat that stuff, but yeah, it's out there. So if you don't have it, get it, use it. Love all y'all. Appreciate you. Let me know. Remember, what time on Sundays for the question and answers. What topics that you guys want me to discuss. And pretty much that's it for right now. Liens, you put liens. No, I haven't put any liens on judges. I have sued one. I've sued one. And lastly, again, I'm gonna try to get on tomorrow. I'm still probably gonna upload a video. Hopefully I'll get somewhere with some faster Wi-Fi than I think it's 5 here on the upload. You know, if you guys have any suggestions, because I think at the office space that I'm going to be getting is going to be 100 megabytes on the upload. So it is what it is. And that's it. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Hit that Cash App. Hit Apple Pay, Venmo, Google Wallet. Love y'all.